to Monday Night Chat with the Womb Therapist every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. For those of you who are new to my channel or new to my page, you've been invited by someone that you know, and you're like, who is this lady? Who did y'all refer me to? Who do you have me watching? My name is Nicole Brantley. I'm affectionately known as the Womb Therapist. And what I do is I help women take the option of hysterectomy and other surgeries off of the table, to kind of put it plain. The name of my company is FRESH. It stands for Feminine Restoration, Education, and Solutions for Women's Health. And while I tell you who I am, I'm going to invite some people. So I help women who have fibroids, PCOS, endometriosis, those who have trouble conceiving, get to the root of their issues by addressing their emotional baggage and truly finding complete healing, because we cannot address the physical body without addressing the emotional body in order to truly heal. All right, so let me get a couple of people invited here. All righty. Thank you for those of you who are already here and tuned in. Thank you to all of the replay viewers watching this live, the replay of this live. Thank you for stopping by. Make sure you hashtag replay so that I can know that you were here. Appreciate you being here. All right, I've invited a few people. So, all right, so welcome. Hello, you guys. Thank you for being here. All right. So tonight we're going to be talking about, hey, Heather, your order shipped today. You should have it tomorrow. I ran out of containers over the weekend and realized once I got downstairs to pack your order, like, oops, Amazon don't get here to Sunday. So your order went out today and you should have it by tomorrow. Hey, Keisha, how are you? Hey, Angela, Yoko. Hello, Anissa. So we're talking about acid reflux tonight. So thank you for those of you who've shared the live, who've invited people over here, who invite your friends and family here weekly to tune in and to listen to what it is that I have to say. I want to make a quick announcement. I'm super excited about this mission that's accomplished because I've been talking about it for months. I've been working on it for about a week. But I finally got it done. I finally launched it. I don't even have my first post up, but I am now on Patreon, and I'm super excited to be over there because I have people who DM me and say, can I just ask you a question? I have people who are like, can I suggest a topic? I have people like, how can I just get an herbal protocol? So my Patreon is active. It's up. I'm going to type in and pin the link for you guys to get over there. So there's 4 different tiers, okay? There is a $1 tier where you are just sending in $1 every month. It's auto draft from your account to support the vision of Fresh, right? Then there's a $5 tier, and you get access to exclusive Patreon content. So what I post over there will not be posted over here on Facebook. It will not be posted over on Instagram. It's going to be exclusive to my Patreons who opt in every month to choose to support me. All right. Then there's a $10 tier and there's a $50 tier. So in the $50 tier, it's a VIP all access. You get everything in the previous tiers. You're going to get a one-on-one with me monthly, which you get an herbal protocol with that one-on-one. You get to suggest a topic. You get to ask a question that I will respond to within 48 hours via an email. So there's lots of benefits to becoming a Patreon. All right. So let me put it in here for you guys. So make sure you go over there, check it out, see what it is that I'm offering. And if you feel led to support. I love your support. So thank you guys for tuning in. So, okay. So I'm on Patreon. I'm there. Finally. All of my mastermind friends can get off my back. Like, you got that thing done? I am done. It is done. So, where is it at? Let me pin it. Hey, Veranda. Happy belated Mother's Day. So, yes. There it is, patreon.com/womb therapist. Go and see what the 4 different tiers of offerings are. They probably will change. I probably will add additional tiers after the, what it really is a membership group, okay? It's a membership program. And I've been wanting to do a membership program for so long, I just didn't know what platform that I wanted to be on. And this one just happens to work out so well because I can share recipes, both smoothie and juice recipes. I can share meal ideas over there. I can go live over there. I can send you guys audio over there. So everything that I do over there is going to be exclusive to my Patreon members. So again, you will not see that stuff here on Facebook or over on my Instagram. It's going to be exclusive content for those who support the business only. Again, there's 4 different tiers. Hey, Christy, there is a $1 tier that does not allow you any access to any of the content. It's just a $1 per month. I want to support the vision of fresh, okay? And then there's a basic tier where you can get in and you can get access to those exclusive videos, audios, recipes, meal ideas, etc. Okay, because I wanted this to be a way for you guys to understand how to live a lifestyle of detox and stay in the loop. So that's one way for me to keep you guys informed. So it is a membership group. It is monthly. You can come out anytime that you want. So again, 1, 5, 10, and then 50. The $50 VIP all access allows you a lot of information. So if you know you're somebody that needs to work on your body and you constantly need to be on these herbs at least for 90 days, 6 months to a year, that's a deal, okay? $50 is absolutely a deal to have one-on-one access with me and all of the above information that I named. So when you get an opportunity, when we're done with the live, make sure you go over to Patreon and check it out and see where you think you fit in as far as a member. And if you don't feel like you fit in, I come here every Monday at 7:30. So I'm not afraid to ask if you would just support the vision and become a $1 vision supporter. I would greatly appreciate that. All right. So tonight we're talking about acid reflux. This is something that a lot of people deal with. They deal with acid reflux, also known as heartburn. Some people call it indigestion. And some people have what's been diagnosed as GERD. All right. GERD. Hello, Kendra. So GERD is gastroesophageal reflux disease. Okay. So essentially when one takes in a meal, usually a protein meal, usually a meal with nightshades or cruciferous vegetables or things that are hard to digest because you're dealing with so much inflammation and acidosis within your esophagus, you find it hard to break down. A lot of you guys have weak pancreases. And so the pancreas is the issue because it doesn't produce a certain thing that it should produce in order for you to digest your food properly. And so things tend to come back up. So a lot of people have one of or all of those diagnoses. So you either have acid reflux, also known as heartburn or indigestion, or you have a diagnosis of GERD. I will say GERD is the official diagnosis of acid reflux, but when you're dealing with interstitial, lymphatic constipation in the esophagus, that is the one that burns and hurts the most, okay? That one's the worst of the two because interstitially you have acid sitting there just burning away. And how you know that is usually you start to eat anything and you feel like everything is causing you reflux. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute because there's certain foods that you should stay away from to not induce the acid reflux, like tomatoes, anything cooked tomatoes. You want to stay away from pretty much all Italian food. No pizza, no lasagna, none of that stuff because cooked tomatoes is not good. It's super acidic and you're already dealing with acidosis in your esophagus and along your whole entire GI tract. The whole thing needs to be repaired, okay? So we'll get to that in just a moment. So acid reflux or indigestion is interstitial burning from inside the wall out. So you're burning interstitially. And what interstitial means is that we have 2 fluids, all right, within everything, blood and lymph. And interstitially, it's burning on both sides. It's very painful. And when you eat pretty much anything, you feel like it doesn't digest completely. It comes back up, and sometimes we have to do better practice as far as don't eat and lay down. Like you need to let your meal digest 2, 3, 4 hours before you lay down, because of course it's going to come back up, especially if you're dealing with esophagus issues where you're having the interstitial lymphatic congestion. All right. So the lymph system is backed up, to make it plain. I like to talk in layman terms. I don't like to talk over people's head and sound all like I'm into the chemistry of things. I like for people to understand. And the reality is, when somebody understands something and they can make it plain and make it simple for the layman, they actually know what they're talking about. Okay, so your lymph system is backed up. Your sewer system that takes out the trash is backed up. All right. And the thing that causes it to be backed up is acid. Acid hardens, it corrodes. It is the thing that makes your mucus jello-y and rubbery and hard to move or stuck in place. So those of you who are dealing with a dry cough, a constant cough, years of cough, you have this locked in you have this locked in mucus in your lungs, and you have been part of the problem because you're suppressing it with allergy meds. You're suppressing it if you're dealing with indigestion with things like Pepto-Bismol and Zantac and Rolaids and Tums. Antacids are a no-no. They cause more harm than not, okay? They are causing you more harm. So we'll talk about that in just a minute, but your lymphatic system is backed up. Your lymphatic system is the sewer system that takes out the trash. You need that moving. You don't want this trash piling up in your body. All right, so the kidneys are down. Whenever you have a stagnant lymphatic system, it is a dead giveaway that your kidneys are down. So your kidneys are down, and you know that when your kidneys are down, your adrenal glands are down, because they're the brains of the kidneys. So when the kidneys are not functioning well, the brain of them is turned off, or they're really, really weak and not functioning optimally at all. All right, so we have to bring movement to the lymphatic system so that we can get your wastes filtering. We have to open up the kidney so that the acids that need to be leaving after a cooked meal are leaving out, right? Every time you eat a cooked meal, that leaves behind acid ash, okay? And if you're not peeing out enough of your acids through your urine, that acid starts to back up, okay? All the way till it gets to the head cavity, and we'll talk about that too. So, also I want to say this, because a lot of people who suffer with gastrointestinal issues or esophageal issues, they also have bloodshot red eyes. Like when you look at my eyes, you can see the whites of my eyes. Some people, they look like they're high, or it's just super bloodshot red. Let me tell you what that is. If your eyes are bloodshot red, that is systemic acidosis. You have lymph backed up all throughout your body. You have inflammation all throughout your body. You're more than likely overweight. You more than likely have an autoimmune disease. You can be in pain in your joints, suffering with not only autoimmune diseases, but anything can be going on in the body. High blood pressure is a biggie. That is high levels of acidosis in the body. You could be dealing with head cavity issues, bad memory or memory loss, ringing in your ear, which is tinnitus. You can have vertigo. You can have migraine headaches. All of these things are a result of this acid backing up because it's not leaving the body. Okay, this is why the kidneys are so important. A lot of people focus on, I got to get my gut together. I got to heal my gut. I'm taking probiotics. I'm healing my gut. I'm doing this with my gut. Let me tell you, opening your kidneys is more important than healing your gut. As you open your kidneys and restore adrenal gland function, you can begin to heal your gut. But if the stuff that's causing the issue has nowhere to go, it doesn't even matter what you're doing in the gut, because it's going to be weak from the acids, period. All right. So you have to correct the problem at the root, which is the kidneys, the adrenals, and the lymphatic system, period, when it comes to acidosis, indigestion, heartburn, and GERD, period. Okay. So we know we need to address the lymphatic system. You also have to clean up the bowels and the GI tract. Once we get those kidneys open, once we get those adrenals restored, once we get that lymphatic system moving, we're looking at taking a broom and sweeping through that GI tract to clean up what's all alongside the walls, what's causing you to have the acid reflux, okay? Because you have issues with digestion when you have acid reflux. All right. And the use of antacids, like I told you earlier, have made matters worse, honestly speaking, because it suppresses the issue. It's just like when you take allergy meds when you have allergy symptoms. I always make sure my clients are on my cold and cough tea and on my allergy balm. Why? Because those are things that are going to soothe. Those are things that's going to help to expel mucus. Those are going to be the things that get to the root of the issue. When you take Claritin and Allegra and all those other over-the-counter allergy medicines, you suppress, you lock in the mucus within your lungs, and it doesn't expel. And then something along environmentally will come and trigger it. Ragweed, pollen, whatever it is that you have allergies to. Because when you're highly acidic, when you have systemic lymphatic constipation, you have allergies to many things more than likely. You feel like, well, dang, where can I buy a bubble? Because I'm allergic to everything. Dogs, trees, grass, everything. Okay. I've been there with my son. I understand the chemistry of the body. And unfortunately, when I was going through some of it with him, I didn't have all these answers, but I didn't stop until I got them. Okay. And then I educated myself by becoming a detox specialist and understanding the chemistry of the body and understanding what's down, what's not functioning properly, and why we are not getting to the root of this healing. Because a lot of the times people think that changing your diet alone will do it. It won't. Food alone will not do it. Going raw alone will not do it. Eating fruit alone will not do it. We don't have the best of fruit in this country anyway. Okay? So if you're ordering your fruit from somebody that lives in a tropical climate, you're having the best fruit. Okay? But here in America, out of that grocery store, we get what we can get. Okay? It's not the best. And that's just honestly speaking. So when we use antacids, so let me finish that thought. So food alone cannot do it. This is where herbs come in. Anti-inflammatory herbs, soothing herbs, things that are going to help heal. And we're going to get into that in a minute. But I want to tell you, the use of antacids have made things worse for you. Stop taking that Zantac. Stop taking the over-the-counter Rolaids, Tums, whatever. Eat an apple. That's going to help you with that acid reflux just like that. Okay, it is going to take care of the pain right then and there, but you still have work to do. So what I'm saying to you is eat an apple instead of taking a Tums, Rolaids, or whatever else you're taking, or Pepto-Bismol. None of that stuff is getting to the root of your issue. It's causing you more harm than good. And this is why we see a lot of stomach cancer, because acids are burning the lining of your stomach. And what is cancer? Cancer is... What do I always say every week? It's damaged cells. It's damaged tissue. What damages it? Acid. Which system is acid in? Your lymphatic system. That's why it's so important to get it moving. And that's why it's so important that those kidneys and adrenals are functioning, because they are tied to your lymphatic system being weak. They're tied to your lymphatic system not moving and being constipated, stagnated, or congested. Whichever word you want to use to describe that the sewer system in your body is not moving. Okay? So do not take the antacids, because they suppress the issue, and they are why we see colon cancer down the line. All right? So let's be proactive. We don't want to have to come back and try to clean up cancer in the stomach. It ain't pretty. Bloody stools. Can hardly eat anything. Have to water fast. I've seen it. Not pretty. And some people don't make it, depending on how far gone their cases are. Okay? Because you can't expect people to work miracles. All right? There's a lot that can be done naturally to heal the body. It takes time. But when you're too far gone, sometimes there's nothing that can be done. All right? It's too late. So, like I said, some of you are dealing with GERD, which is the truest definition of what acid reflux really is. But a lot of people are past the stage of just acid reflux. They have interstitial lymphatic congestion in their esophagus, which is causing them to have burning from the inside out. Okay? From inside the wall out of the esophagus. And that is super, super painful. Like, these people are in pain because it's just acid sitting there burning things up. You're burning up from the inside out, and it's like nothing you can do about it. So you have to pull that acid out, and I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. So some of you are dealing with GERD. which the pancreas is weak in this case, okay? And it's not giving you the bicarbonate that you need, because that's what it would essentially emit in order to break down your foods, right? And hydrochloric acid, which is the response that your body gets from eating proteins, animal proteins in particular, okay? So I'm talking your beef, your pork, your steaks, your chicken, your fish. All of those things are going to give you that hydrochloric acid response that cannot properly be neutralized because your pancreas is weak. It's not functioning optimally, and it's not releasing enough of that bicarbonate in order to neutralize the acid so that you're not experiencing the acid reflux. Does that make sense? I hope I made that as plain as I can make it. The other thing that's causing burning, all right, a lot of us are dealing with sulfur in our gut. And I'm going to talk about sulfur-rich foods in just a minute because a lot of us are partaking in them. But when you're dealing with acid reflux as severely as it is for most of you, you want to come off of these sulfur-rich foods to get some relief, okay? Sulfur burns. Okay, when I deal with people who are doing deep tissue detoxes that have been detoxing for months with me, and they're really getting to that healing, cleaning out that colon, they're like, Nicole, my butt is burning every single time I poop. That's sulfur. And that means you're getting down to the nitty gritty. You're cleaning out what's along the walls of your colon. Sulfur burns, especially if you're not eating spicy foods and you have bowel movements that cause you to burn as it exits. That is sulfur leaving your body. Sulfur can come from sulfur-rich foods. A lot of the times we have sulfur in our GI tract from medication. A lot of us get sulfur in our GI tract from that way. So I can look into your eyes and see if I see an orangey brown color around the bowel area, which indicates the bowel from the iridology exam. So it's a soft tissue analysis, and I can tell if there's sulfur in the bowels, okay? It's really easy to detect in a blue eye or green eye. Green is not a real color eye. There's only two true colors of eyes. That's brown and blue, and variations of them. So it could be super clear blue, and it could be super dark blue, or it can be really light brown, like as in hazel, or all the way up to a dark brown eye. There's only two eye colors, brown and blue, and a variation. When you have a green eye, that means you're sick. That means you're full of lymph. When you have a gray eye, gray and green are not true color of eyes, okay? But we're not going to get into an iridology lesson right now. But I want to let you know that I can look in the eye and see if sulfur is present. So sulfur is in your gut, and it burns. So it can be contributing to the acid reflux, all right? And what I want to talk about with undigested foods, undigested foods ferment, and they cause bloating. So you should be staying away from fermented foods if you experience bloating, all right? Some people are like, as soon as I eat, my stomach looks like I'm 4 months pregnant, Nicole. You're improperly combining food, meaning you're probably combining a starch and a protein, which is going to cause you to bloat. But you have digestive issues. Your pancreas is weak. Your stomach acids are not neutralizing your food properly, and they're coming back up, okay? And you're dealing with lots of inflammation in that esophagus. So what's going to happen? You're eating proteins like meats, right? That's going to produce the hydrochloric acid. Acid burns. So you're already burning interstitially from the inside out in your esophagus or in your GI tract. And then you're eating things that are acid. So you're putting acid on top of acid. Then your stomach is not neutralizing, and your pancreas is not neutralizing those acids. So as they come up, they burn. This is where the burn is coming from. So undigested foods can ferment and cause gas and bloating. If you're dealing with gas and bloating, I'm sure that it's improper food combining, but I can guarantee you your foods are not digesting properly. All right. So, again, when you're dealing with GI tract issues, when you're dealing with esophagus issues, when you're dealing with digestive issues, you are more than likely backed all the way up to your head cavity. Again, you can be dealing with things like a bad memory, like where did I put my keys? Where did I put my car? Where did I park my car? Like I lost my phone. Where is this? Like you got to put stuff around your neck in order to keep up with stuff. That is serious, especially people in their 20s and 30s already having poor memory. That is not anything to play with. This is where ear candling comes into play, okay? This is where getting on herbs to drain the swamp in your head. You have to drain the head cavity. You got to open up them kidneys too. You got to restore that adrenal gland functions. You got to move that lymph, but you also have to deal with up here, because the reality is, because it's not leaving through your kidneys, your acid is backing all the way up. So y'all are dealing with balding, thinning, graying. You're dealing with headaches, migraines, tinnitus, or ringing in the ear, vertigo, or dizziness. You're dealing with breathing problems. You can have asthma, lung issues. There's a lot of things that start to break down as this acid begins to break down tissue, okay? It is a systemic issue. What does that mean, Nicole? It means it's throughout your entire system. Your lymphatic system runs throughout your entire system. There's trillions of cells throughout your body. So every time you eat, your cells eat and poop, and they depend on your cell to move it to your lymph nodes, and your lymph nodes to move it to your kidneys, okay? But what if the lymph nodes, the septic tanks, are congested? What's happening there? So I need you to understand how it's a domino effect of systemic issues that are causing you to have pain throughout your body, okay? Especially that acid reflux. And I want to talk about it, what it is from an emotional perspective, in just a minute. Yeah, let me do that now before I get into what are some things that we need to do and correct, and then the sulfur-rich foods. So I'm going to look up, do they have it under here? I'm going to tell you what indigestion is first. So indigestion is gut-level fear, dread, and anxiety. Y'all not trusting the process of life. You're not digesting and assimilating your new experiences peacefully and joyfully. What do you have going on in your life that you have gut level fear, anxiety, and dread about? You're dreading something. So those of you who are dealing with this, you know if that resonates for you. The reality is, fear is false evidence appearing real. And when we face our fears, we're like, oh, that was it? Oh, okay. So start facing your fears head on. Stop letting things swirl around in your head. Like I said, I've been working on this Patreon for a little over a week, but I've been talking about it for months. Okay, swirling in my head, knowing I need to do it, causing me anxiety. Why? Because I know I needed to do it. I know that people will benefit from that membership. I've been talking about a membership. I don't want to talk about how long, but it's done. All right. So there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to dread. There was a matter of just getting in front of the computer and doing it, doing the work, taking the action, knocking it out. So whatever that gut level fear is in your life, I need you to face it. I need you to take action. I need you to digest and assimilate all of your new experiences peacefully and joyously. So change your perspective. I'm going to say it again. Go back to my video that I did called Sunday School, where we talked about and broke down the book of As a Man Thinketh. And we talked about thoughts and how it relates to health. You can eat all of the things. You can do all of the things. Your body will never completely heal if you have negative thoughts. It doesn't matter. Okay? You're never going to achieve complete healing. So go back and listen to that message, because your thoughts are so powerful. And they're so key to your overall and complete healing. Okay? So you have to know for yourself why you have gut level fear, why you have dread, anxiety. It's also griping and grunting. Stop moaning and complaining. What are you going to do about it? See, that's the thing that we do as people, as human beings. We have all of these stressors and we complain about them, but we don't do anything to change our level of stress, like eliminate the stressor. Yeah, and sometimes it's not something that you could do overnight. And sometimes it's not something you can do in a week. And sometimes it's not something that you can do in a month. But you need to be working on the plan to eliminate the stressors. You need to have some tools in place, like I need to go outside, step in the grass, barefoot and ground, to relieve some of this stress. I need to go hug a tree. I need to go sit out in nature. I need to go get a massage. I need to go get a V-steam. I need to go get a pedicure. Whatever that is for you, that's going to bring you relaxation, and that's going to help you to decompress from whatever is stressing you out. You need to incorporate it. Pencil you in on your schedule. We take care of everybody else, but we don't take care of ourselves. And oftentimes we don't make ourselves priority. We get to ourselves later, last, leftovers, and that's self-sabotage and it's self-betrayal, because the message that you send to yourself is that I'm not enough. And the truth is, the people that you're there for and you're caregiving for don't want you at 50%. They don't want you at 75%. They want you at your 100%. So that's why it's important for you to fill your cup up first. It's not a cliche saying. You have to fill up your cup so that you're not giving them from your cup. What you gonna give them from a dry cup? Nothing. Nothing. You're gonna be moaning and complaining, griping and grunting, just like this just said. So that's indigestion, which is very much the same. Let's see what heartburn says. I'm sure it's pretty much the same. Heartburn, fear, 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 clutching, fear. What are you afraid of? You have to face your fear, okay? Breathe freely and fully. Know that you are safe. This is key. And you have to trust the process of life. Get out of your head. Sometimes we need to stop thinking and be present in the moment. Because sometimes some of us can't control our thoughts. We're just not there. I had somebody reach out to me and they were like, I love what you teach. I appreciate what you share. And, I know you talk about herbs and eating good, but we can heal ourselves by changing our thoughts. And that is absolutely 100% accurate. But the reality is most people are not there yet. Okay? They have a hard time with controlling their thoughts. And I told you, when something comes in your mind and you don't want that I was getting ready to use a completely wrong word. It's not something that you want to see manifest in your life. You cancel, erase, delete that thought, that thing that you just spoke, all of it. Because you don't want that to come to fruition. All right. So even with heartburn, which is the same thing as a peptic ulcer, stomach problems, ulcers, heartburn, indigestion, it says fear, 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 clutching fear. What are you afraid of? That's the question that I want you to answer for yourself. Okay, what are you afraid of? Some of y'all are afraid to move forward in your life because you don't feel like you have something to move forward to. You create your reality. So life can look exactly like you want it to look. But too many of us are living by default, and not enough of us are living by design. You create your reality, in case nobody ever told you that. What does that mean, Nicole? What you mean I create my reality? You get to determine how your world looks to a certain extent. Okay? Yes, we have a creator. Yes, things may happen. But the things that you choose to do on a daily basis, the decisions that you make towards your life, what you eat, what you drink, what time you get up, how you show up, all of those things are a result of why your life looks the way it looks right now today, because of decisions that you have made up until now. You have total control over your decisions. And if you don't, then that's a problem. You ain't supposed to be where you're at if somebody else is controlling your life. Okay? So that was heartburn. I read indigestion already. What was the other one I said I was going to look up? I don't think we have acid reflux in here, but it all means the same thing. Let's see. No, we don't. So that addresses it. So that's what it is from the emotional perspective. Clutching fear. Fear, fear, fear. Gut level fear. Griping and grunting. Stop complaining and do something about it. Because that's the only way that you're going to not experience what you're experiencing. Okay? So back to the physical. You've got to get your lymphatic system moving, right? You have to open up your kidneys. You got to restore adrenal function. You have to start taking anti-inflammatory herbs. You have to. It's the only thing that's going to heal you, okay? So things like slippery elm, things like chamomile, things like mullein, all of these things are in my cough and cold tea. People are getting miraculous results from that cough and cold tea. And it's the blend that was actually infused into my elderberry syrup. If you haven't gotten any, get some, okay? Start working on that GI tract, those lungs. I have plenty of anti-inflammatory herbs in there, things that are soothing, that are very gentle. And guess what? Sometimes people respond to the very soothing, gentle herbs. I'm like, that just goes to show that interstitially, you have lots of acid to pull out of that esophagus. You have lots of sweeping and cleaning up to do to that GI tract. Okay? You got to change the things that you're putting in there. So fresh aloe vera 3 times a day is amazing. Take it up out of the leaf, get the gelatinous clear stuff, and chug it down 3 times a day. If you need it more than that because you're still in pain, every 2 hours. Slice you up some, swallow it. If it's too much, you don't like the way it tastes, if it's not palatable to you, put it in a smoothie. Put it in something, but get it in. Okay? Fresh aloe vera. Teas, herbal teas every 2 to 3 hours to soothe. Look up anti-inflammatory healing herbs or shop with us at Fresh and get you your cold and cough tea. Our womb healing tea and douche, also known as our healing tea, has tons of anti-inflammatories in it and are very soothing to the GI tract, okay? We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Either one of those teas will work for you because they have all of the anti-inflammatories in them, okay? You got to clean up the GI tract. You got to eliminate the proteins. You got to stop eating the chicken. Okay? You got to stop eating the steak. Steak and pork are the most highly acidic meats out there. You got to put them down or you're going to keep burning. The choice is yours at the end of the day. Do you want healing or do you want something to taste good and then you're going to pay for it later? Because some people like to suffer. That's why I always say suffering is optional. Some people can't get past their taste buds. That's a lack of discipline. It just is what it is. So, eliminate cooked tomatoes. You gotta get rid of the tomatoes. Don't eat them raw. Don't eat them cooked. When you're experiencing acid reflux, they're highly acidic. You need to stay away from nightshade foods as well. I'm going to repost my nightshades post again. I'll make that my morning post tomorrow. There's potatoes. There's eggplants. There are, I can't even think of all of them. They're mostly cruciferous vegetables, cabbages, things like that. They have small amounts of nicotine in them, but they also have something called capsaicin in them that causes heartburn, that causes acid reflux. So that's why you want to eliminate these nightshades and cruciferous vegetables and these sulfur-rich foods out of your diet because you're contributing to the problem. Okay, so we'll talk about those in just a minute. So again, take in fresh aloes, drink you some herbal teas every 2 to 3 hours. I sell 2 teas that can benefit your GI tract. One is the womb healing tea and douche blend, which is also packaged for men as the healing tea, and the cough and cold tea. All right, the cough and cold tea also has things in there to expel mucus from the lungs. If you're an asthmatic, if you wheeze, if you have upper respiratory conditions, that's what that tea is good for. So either one, get it in your body, 2 to 3 cups every single day. And if you need to drink a cup every 2 to 3 hours because that's how much pain you're in and you need the soothing of the warmth and all of the benefits, the nutritive benefits of the herbs, that's what you need to be doing, okay? So you have to clean up the GI tract. You have to eliminate the proteins, get those meats out of your diet, or eliminate the hell out of them. Make it, if you cannot discipline yourself enough to take meat out of your diet, you need to be knocking it down to 1, maximum 2 days a week till you can come to 0 days. But you're only gonna put yourself in pain. It's up to you though. Eliminate cooked tomatoes. So no pizza. Okay, is the worst. The bread, the tomato sauce, and the cheese. I love pizza. I get it. I just get a vegan version of it when I have to have it. Okay, I go to either Mods or Blaze, and my son absolutely loves it. But we gotta cut it down. You cannot have pizza every week. Can't even have pizza every month. But pizza is You can smell it. Go smell it. Go walk in there and smell it. But that's the only thing you should be consuming about pizza is the way it smells. It's horrible for our bodies. And especially when you have acid reflux, heartburn, and indigestion. You should not be eating pizza. You should not be eating lasagna. I don't care if it's raw. You should not be eating tomatoes when you have severe indigestion. You're making matters worse. No, what is it? Ziti? None of the things. Sorry. Because that's meat, cheese, cooked tomatoes, ricotta cheese. Like, you gotta come off of it, okay? In order to heal. Because those are inflammatory foods, not anti-inflammatory foods. So you're just going to continue to trigger whatever is going on. All right. So again, you want to partake in anti-inflammatory foods, which consists mostly of fruits, berries, and melons. Okay. Everything else pretty much leaves behind acid. I'm not saying that's all you have to eat, but you need to be taking a large amount of fruits, berries, and melons in. Apples are great. Okay. Vegetables can be too much. So this is what I'm going to say, because I'm going to share with you some sulfur-rich vegetables. But juices, if veggies are too much, juice them and drink them. Okay? Because it's already digested, essentially. It's like it's already been chewed food. When you take out the fiber from it, it's easier on your digestive tract because your body doesn't have to try to produce all of this stuff to break it down. It's already broken down. That's why juicing is good. Okay? So apples are great on the spot. Don't take a Tums. Don't take a Rolay. Don't take a Xanax. Eat an apple or two. I promise you, you will get results quicker than you would with the antacid. That later down the road can cause you cancer of the stomach, of the colon. All right? So, apples are great. Juice your veggies if it's too much. And this is, so you don't have to juice your vegetables, but if you notice that when you eat cooked vegetables, you're even having acid reflux from your cooked vegetables, that's when I suggest that you juice them. Okay? People love kale. People love to talk about kale and, oh, it's liquid gold. Kale is hard as hell to digest and break down, even for people who don't have digestive issues. It's a lot. Think about how rough it is and how hard it is. If I consume it in a salad, I always make sure I rub it down with some sort of oil to break it down and soften it so that it's easier on the digestive system. It's very harsh on the digestive system. But people love their kale. Make sure it's in a broken down form. Either juice it, mix it in with a smoothie, get it broken down, because raw, it's a lot. It's a lot on the digestive system, especially when you have weak ones and you're dealing with acid reflux. Okay, remember, don't do antacids. They suppress. You want to also simultaneously be cleaning up your bowels. Because let me tell you what happens when you have bowels that are sitting behind and you eat all these meals and you only poop once or twice here and there and you ate 20 meals, but you still got 18 meals left behind. Like, where do you think that stuff is sitting at? It's in your colon. It's the reason for distended bellies. And what happens when you have a lot of waste sitting in your colon, it leaches out into other parts of your body. All right? Your sewer system is already not working. The lymphatic system ain't even taking out the trash. So we got to make sure we keep that colon clean. All right? There's herbs that can help you do that are not laxatives, that are not addictive. Get on some herbs that help you with moving bowels. All right? So you want to clean up the bowels. Again, extreme gas and bloating can come from improper food combining. It can also be coming from that sulfur. So I want to make sure you're not partaking in any sulfur-rich foods to cause you more issues. Okay? So, and then sometimes when we're dealing with sulfur, we're also dealing simultaneously with an overproduction of fungus. So some of you ladies might be seeing yeast infection. You might be seeing candida. You might be craving lots of sweets. That is a dead giveaway that you have an overabundance of parasites in your body. Okay? Lots of fungus. So we all have fungus, but when it's an overproduction is when it's a problem. Okay? And then when you're bloating, we're waiting on bacterium to come and eat that up because your stomach acids didn't neutralize what you took in and digestion didn't happen properly. And you got to wait for them to come by and eat things up. So we got to deworm. We have to address the bloating and the gas. We have to address the sulfur issue. Okay. Also, what's very helpful in this, seeing a chiropractor. I only recommend top of the line, upper cervical chiropractor who operate in C1 and C2. They only move your top two vertebrae. They're not down your spine, moving stuff all around and popping stuff in and out. Not how it works. When you correct C1 and C2 and get the person to hold, the spine, the rest of the spine will automatically align by itself. All of your lymphatic fluids, all of your systems and highways can flow properly. That's why spinal health is so key. So you may also need to get in with a chiropractor, upper cervical chiropractor. Clean up your diet. You don't have to be super rigid. You don't have to go all raw. But you need to be watching out for those breads. You do not need to be eating a bunch of fried foods. Kick the French fries. The reality is a lot of you don't know that when you buy French fries from the drive-thru, oh my God, this was not even moving. When you buy French fries from the drive-thru, they contain a ton of chemicals. A ton of chemicals. All right, so not only are you eating the fried, the nasty grease, you're also taking in chemicals, and that's the thing that keeps you coming back. You ever ate at a restaurant and like you want to eat there the next day? Yeah, there was a little bit of chemicals in there to do that, designed to reel you back on in. So know that. So you got to clean up your diet. You got to incorporate mostly fruits, berries, and melons. I'm telling you, food alone is not going to heal you though. It's not. You have to incorporate the herbs, all right? And again, if your eyes are bloodshot red, like they don't look white like mine, like you can't see the whites of your eyes, you see red squiggly lines, or really, really bloodshot red, like you're super tired, you didn't get no sleep, or possibly like you're high, that is a dead giveaway of systemic acidosis, meaning you have acid throughout your entire body. It's not unheard of with Americans. That's why obesity is at the rate that it is. Most of us are inflamed and swollen. We just are. Yes, RJ.
Is it raining or something?
I don't know.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Where's my gum?
I don't know. Can this wait till the live is over? We're wrapping up. All right, so quickly, guys, I want to share some some foods that are high in sulfur with you. And when I say sulfur, I'm talking about SULPHUR. So you can Google sulfur-rich foods on your own and see what you come up with. All right, and so these are some vegetables that are high in sulfur. Your broccoli, okay? That usually causes you gas, and it usually causes bloating. Cauliflower, the same, because these things are hard to break down. These are considered cruciferous vegetables. Cabbage, very gassy, hard to break down. Same with Brussels sprouts, kale, callaloo, okra, lettuce, sweet corn, spinach. I know a lot of people who are dealing with acid reflux issues that tell me, Nicole, I can't break down lettuce. Lettuce is not real hard to break down, but that just shows you how weak the stomach acid is. Okay? And when your foods don't break down, they ferment.
Mom, can I have the vanilla cupcake? I have a taste for that.
Didn't I say no more cupcakes today? You can save that taste for tomorrow. Thank you very much.
No, I won't.
RJ, mommy's on live. Thank you.
Fine, I will not talk to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So again, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, kale, callaloo, okra, lettuce, sweet corn, spinach, eggplant, and asparagus. I'm also going to repost my nightshades post to shed some more light on some of these foods that are considered nightshades. Peppers, especially green pepper, capsaicin is present in peppers, which is linked to heartburn and acid reflux. Some allium vegetables are onions, garlic, leeks, shallots, and chives. Sometimes people usually don't see any issue with those vegetables, but if you notice that those are causing you to have heartburn, then that's something that you want to remove. All right, beans, super acidic and very high in sulfur. And you don't want to combine rice and beans because that's improper food combining, and that's combining a protein and a starch. That will cause you to bloat. That will cause you to feel full for hours, and you have to wait for somebody to come along and eat it up, aka parasites, bacterium. All right, which is what their purpose is for being in our stomach, but we don't want them in an overabundance. We don't want them to the point that we have candida and constant yeast infection because we have so much candida present or so much overgrowth of yeast and other bacterium present. All right, so usually when there's high levels of sulfur in the gut, there's also fungus tied to that. All right, and we don't want we don't need that. And so beans are very high in sulfur, and then steamed soybeans, also known as edamame, is the highest in sulfur content. I'm not a proponent of you guys eating soy anyway. So those are some of the foods that you need to be staying away from if you have GERD, or if you have acid reflux, indigestion, heartburn, or whatever terminology that is used, you've been diagnosed with. Also, make sure you address that emotional root. Gut level fear. Gut level fear. Fear, fear, fear. Clutching fear. Don't feel safe. Like, you have to know that you're safe. You have to face your fears head on. If you don't address your emotional baggage, you'll never heal completely. You will halt your healing. All right. So that is the live for tonight. Don't forget to head over to Patreon once you guys leave here. The link has been pinned in the comments. For those of you who would like to know what it is Patreon, patreon.com/womb therapist. It is my membership group. There's 4 different tiers. You can become a vision supporter for $1 a month. There's some benefits to being a $5 basic member. There is some benefits to being a $10 premium member, and there are all of the benefits to being the $50 VIP all access member. So I look forward to you guys supporting me on that platform, especially if you want to get things under control as it relates to your health. So I'm going to be giving out juicing recipes, smoothie recipes, meal ideas over there. I'm going to be doing exclusive content, videos, and audio over there. If you get the $50 package, you get access to a one-on-one with me every single month, to include an herbal protocol via email. You get to ask one question per month and get responded to within a 48-hour time frame. You get to suggest topics that you want me to deep dive in. So there's many benefits to becoming a patron of mine. So make sure you guys head over to patreon.com/womb therapist. Again, the link is in the comments here. The link is in my link tree if you can't find it in the comments. And if you're following me on Instagram and you click the link in my bio, it's there. I usually always put the link in my comments to my link tree. So it says join me on Patreon, or join my Patreon. So I would love to see you guys come over there, even if it's just for the supporting the vision, okay? I know that there's going to be more to come, but this is just the start of this platform. So I thank you in advance for those of you who have already signed up. I actually launched it earlier today. I finished it. I was like, this is it. I'm not coming off my plate today. And I sent it out to a group of my friends, and most of them already became patrons before I even went live. They became patrons earlier this afternoon when I finished. So make sure you get over there and you join on one of the tiers, whichever serves you best. Again, there's a note in there to let you know when your payments will come out, et cetera, et cetera. So I thank you in advance for those of you who will become patrons of mine. So take care of your body so that your body can take care of you. Know that health doesn't happen by chance. It happens by choice. You have to make intentional decisions in order to get your mind, body, spirit, and emotions to where you want them to be. All right. So you have to be intentional. You have to live with intention. You have to live a life that you design, and not one that you just live by default and let life happen. And then you wake up and you're 40, 50, 60 years old and you're like, I don't have anything to show for it. You didn't design it. You allowed it to happen. Okay. So make sure that you take care of your body so that your body can take care of you. Be intentional with what you're putting in and out of your mouth. I hope this acid reflux video was very helpful for you. For those of you who are suffering with acid reflux, heartburn, indigestion, gas, bloating, et cetera, et cetera. We have to deal with that interstitial burning that's going on from the inside out. Okay. And so even if you don't want to become a Patreon or patron, you can always book a one-on-one consultation. You can always get in on my group detoxes. There's multiple ways to work with me. Okay. So thank you for those of you who stayed to the end that are new viewers. Thank you for those of you watching the replay. Make sure you hashtag replay so that I can know that you were here and say hello to you in the comments. Again, thank you for tuning in tonight. You all have a wonderful night. Peace.